How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Ganji. Welcome to another episode of Tier Talk. So, guys, we're going to break down the assault on Ice Spice at a McDonald's out in California. Definitely feel it's premeditated. We're going to show you two videos. One video is going to be the assault at the McDonald's, and then there's going to be a video of the girl who did the assault being interviewed, and a story that is so far from the truth. I guess you didn't know that McDonald's had audio in their recording. And that's actually interesting. I didn't know they were able to do that. That means that they're audioing everyone's conversation who goes in there to eat. So that's interesting. Usually I thought they weren't allowed to have audio, but maybe I'm wrong. It's a public space. So with that said, I find this video to be very interesting. I'm going to give you a complete breakdown of everything once we watch both the videos. But I do want to mention there definitely is some premeditation outside of what the lawyer said about the viral content, which we'll break down. There is somebody in the background, which I believe relates to her, saying no. And then she continues to go. So I think that they're trying to tell her to stop what she's about ready to do. And I also took that there could have been a gang element here. I think the girl did know it was Ice Spice right off the bat, and she was trying to check to confirm. That's why she went to the other girl, so she could eventually see this girl's face. And then when she sees the girl's face, she starts to say, "Are you Ice?" But the conversation never gets to that point where Ice Spice identifies herself to her. But it definitely is an interesting video. I thought it was, and I got some backdrop here, and I don't think this story is done. I think Ice Spice has got a lawyer, as she should, and they are going after her criminally, civilly, and this lawyer, I think, is pretty smart in some of the stuff that he said. So let's do the assault first, because that's what it is. It is assault. It is an assault. Let's see. Wait, let me give you a background of Ice Spice first. Hold on. Some of you guys may not know who she is. So let me just give you a backdrop of Ice Spice, what I have here. So I showed you guys the picture. A little backdrop here on Ice Spice. Ice Spice, born Isis Gastone, is a 26-year-old Grammy-nominated rapper from the Bronx. Bronx, New York. She rose to international prominence through her drill-infused, hook-driven style and viral singles, and has since become one of hip-hop's most recognizable young figures. She's currently signed to a major label deal and has an ongoing brand partnership with Wendy's. Oh, well, that's actually kind of ironic. She's eating at McDonald's. But either way, nothing in those contracts say she has to exclusively eat at Wendy's. So, that seems to be something people are making note of right now in the social media world. So at the time of the incident, Ice Spice was in Los Angeles, a city she doesn't call home, without any personal security present. That's interesting. Okay, so let's go to this video first. All right. Yeah, real quick, and I won't stop the video again, I promise. I want you to hear someone saying no in the background. That's definitely something premeditated, because what are they saying no to? Oh, that they want to speak. No, it looks like this girl, looks like they're saying no as if they're trying to stop her from doing something foolish. Watch. Babe, no. And that was enough to get this guy's attention up by the table. So she's definitely planning something. I mean, they can argue that. I get it, but it's definitely something I would focus on. Because then you see there's some intent there, because that was enough for somebody to yell, "Hey, babe, no." I just wanted to put that in there. All right, hold on one second.
Ready for what? Take gas. You take gas? That's what you do, you take gas? Yeah. So go take gas. So you from Cali? So go take gas. So you from Cali? Are you from Cali? Are you from Cali? Where are you from? Are you from Cali? No, I'm from Chirag. Where are you from? Oh, you're from Chirag. Yeah. So where are you from? I'm from McDonald's.
See, so just so you know, that's the main challenge. I see this in the gang world all the time, where having working in prison, the challenge does become where you're from. It's kind of like they're just G checking. So I think it does. I think this part here could be a bit gang related. So I'd be a little curious to see what the background of these individuals are. I see it in the prison setting where an inmate may come in and they'll get questioned by a gang, and they'll ask them, "Hey, where you from?" And then they expect that person, if he's from the gang, to either throw up some signs or something to show where his allegiance is. And they can be very shifty with this, because sometimes, let's say I'm representing one of the sets of the Bloods, whatever it is, and someone comes in who I know maybe could be a Crip. I may come up to them and check them, but I may not check them as what I belong to as a Blood. I may check them as a Crip to see what that person throws up, to test their heart. Now, if that person throws up blood, hey, he's got heart, and then I may go back and say, yeah, I'm a Blood too. This is my set, blah, 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 and we roll together. But if I throw up Crip and then all of a sudden you're either trying to say you don't claim, and maybe I know you do, or you start throwing up Crip, which I know you're not, you're going to get beat right on the spot. You'll be food right from the get-go. And I've seen it happen. I've dropped inmates off by the door, into an intake area, and then you can see people from the window yelling, "Yo, where you from, homie?" And they're throwing signs, and that person's supposed to throw signs back. So it's interesting. So this is, to me, a familiar practice in that world. And you got the red hair. I mean, I don't want to stereotype.
Where you from? Are you from? No, I'm from Chirac. Where you from? Oh, you're from Chirac. Yeah. So where you from? So where you from? I'm from McDonald's. I'm from Wendy. Where you from? Why you from? Where you
See how the girl pushed her friend? That's another assault. Well, that should be an assault, because that should be also.
Are you okay? Are you with them?
I'm not with them. With my friend right here. They just came in right now.
But you're the one got into them that I'm here, right?
I didn't know. They didn't know he was here. You was playing that way. They didn't know he was here.
Nah, why should you?
Are you good?
Got my phone?
Yeah, sure.
Fuck y'all. That's why. Fuck you and that bitch. Alright. Why is that bitch fucking though? Why would I relax and you touch her?
Yo, what the f***? That really was Ice Spice. That's really Ice Spice. What the f*** you end that? Alright.
So I just want to mention something, because this will play out later on. Obviously, they're making it known that's Ice Spice, so they've confirmed that it was Ice Spice, and they start videoing from their phone. And a good point from the lawyer was that they wanted to make that second part of the video go viral by only using that part. They may not have thought that there was cameras in the McDonald's that would have showcased what happened prior, and that all they're getting is part of the story from the other side, which would made it look like Ice Spice was the aggressor. So definitely that also falls into premeditation. And I'm very familiar with that practice, because in law enforcement, you never get what started the incident. You only get the incident itself, and then people fill in the context of what happened before. And that's been unfortunately something that's hurt law enforcement in the long run. I'm not saying we're perfect. I get it. But these videos that are only being recorded after what started the initial incident has caused people to either create their own context or narrative, or give a chance for the people who started the issue to create their own narrative, which is what you're going to see. Because I'm going to show you the interview with this girl on TikTok, and she tries to create her own narrative and then use that to put context to the second video where they're recording. So McDonald's coming through with this video changes that whole narrative. But it makes you wonder, though, how many other stories have we seen on video from phones that there's no context and we make judgment from that moment in time when we know, to be honest with you, most people don't hit the recording until the incident's already occurred. They never put down they never record what led to the incident. And as you could see, when you hear this girl being interviewed, the girl that did this, wait till you see the narrative that she's trying to create that would have connected only to that, what was recorded on the phones. Thank God the McDonald video shows up, because it shows everything she said is an outright lie.
Yo, what the? That really was Ice Spice. That's really Ice Spice. What the? You end that. Alright. What the happened? Why is that?
Oh no, she's drunk, but just relax.
Why would I relax if she
I'm
touched
saying
me?
she's drunk.
Where is she? Where is she? No. Why would I let it go? Yo, why would I let it go? What the? Chavez just got Ice Spice. We're going viral. Next, we'll be on the same. You gonna spank the bitch? Nah, wait, calm down. Let me fight her.
So now you got a threat from him now, because she's trying to get to the girl that smacked her. She's pissed. She's upset. So this is not, her being the aggressor. She got smacked and she's upset. And that's a lot for someone to take in without feeling okay by that. She's trying to resolve that shit. And I get that. And this guy here makes the threat towards her. That should be noted.
You gonna spank the bitch?
There it is. I'll beat your motherfucking ass. Then he puts his hands up. That should be noted.
On your mama. Let me fight her. Let me fight her. Why would you want to fight me? Are you a bitch?
So, I worked, working in prison for years, the sign of disrespect, getting hit across the face, whatever it is, it has to be resolved. And this is, in my opinion, Ice Spice is a very strong, independent woman. I think it's what a lot of people get attracted to with her music, outside of the fact that she has another side, but she's also a strong, independent woman. You kind of see that in her videos. So, you're not just going to slap me in the face. I want to settle this right now. So she's acting on emotion, but with that said, in my mind, perfectly justified. Imagine also, you getting smacked in the face and the person walking off. I mean, it may not be the best thing to go and chase the person within a group of their homies, but she's frustrated, she's upset, and hey, let's settle this. My problem isn't with you. My problem was her. Now you want to fight me? My problem was with her. She smacked me in the face. We don't do that. We're going to handle it right now. So again, I wouldn't recommend that people do that. I would recommend you try to stay clear, because you never know what you're going into. But with that said, it's still 100% justifiable that she wants to handle it with that girl, because you just smacked me, and I'm basically I'm no one's bitch here. So let's straighten this out. But again, this was to happen. I wouldn't recommend I recommend you wait for local PD or whatever it is, because the last thing you want to do is walk into an angry group of people and then get yourself hurt because you're running by emotion. But perfectly justifiable that she's upset about what happened. So either way, I'm not trying to say she did anything wrong. Just she's fueled by emotion right now. And again, she's an independent, strong woman, and you just don't do that to an independent, strong woman.
You want to fight a bitch? Why would you fight me, bitch? You 120 pounds. Let's get at it then. Let's get at it then. Calm down. Calm down. Wait. Y'all think because I'm famous?
No, what happened?
You from what?
That's on
You.
That's on P.
Where you from?
What happened? I don't
What
understand.
the you mean what happened?
I wasn't. Get off in her
You
shit.
wasn't there. Where she at?
See, where you're from matters. It's a check. So even she said, like, where you're from, like she She knows what that meant. She's not a fool.
I wasn't. Get off in her
You
shit.
wasn't there. Where's she at? Where's she at? And why the you want to record? It's funny.
This is upsetting because they knocked her down. Yeah, this is upsetting.
Hey, don't jump her. Hey, don't push him though. Don't push him though. Don't push him because he can't hit you the back. Don't push him. Calm down. All right, but calm down.
The thing is, that was never going to be a one-on-one anyway. You know, that was never going to be a one-on-one. But definitely, she is the victim here, a strong victim. Strong victim, but she's a victim here. Now, watch this, because this girl tries to create the narrative, which is totally a bullshit narrative. But I guess she didn't realize McDonald's got some audio. Oh, and I mentioned something here with McDonald's audio. Where is it? I think I have it in my narrative if they're able to record or something. Okay, so let me just remove this part. And let me get the girl's narrative. Now, mind you guys, all right, let's get this. If they didn't have that, hold on. If they didn't have that camera footage in the McDonald's, all you would have would be this bullshit version of the truth. Bullshit version of the truth. That makes sense. Look, even the comments literally didn't happen. You were drunk. She's lying. Thankfully, the video had audio. So people, and why not? People forget celebrities are still people with boundaries. Just straight line. This is, totally straight line. You guys ready for this? Watch this. Watch this.
And everything. And we was with my friends and everything. And we came from the beach earlier that night and we decided to go walk around Hollywood or whatever. But before we did that, we decided to stop by McDonald's because we all had to use the bathroom. So then one of my friends, she comes out and she was like, oh, I think that's Ice Spice over there. And I'm like, oh, for real? So I go up to them and I'm giving her and the other girl she was with compliment. And then immediately Ice Spice was just being rude. She was like, why are you over here? You could leave. Bye. And I'm like, why are you being rude pretty much? And she was basically saying like, you could just leave. Bye. Like, I don't even know why you're at my table. Then that's when I proceed to ask her, like, you don't got to be rude. I'm just giving you guys a compliment. And I'm like, you know what? Where are you from? She said, I'm from New York. So I said, let me tell you something. I don't care where you're from. I'm like, you in LA, you in my city now. You can't be out here disrespecting people. Like, if you wanted us to leave, you could have just politely said, oh, I'm not in the mood or something, right? Instead of just yelling at me. So she kept going on. Then she calls me a bitch. So after she calls me a bitch, I hit her. So I hit her. And then so I got escorted out to McDonald's. And then so after they escorted me, I'm like by my car and I hear Ice Spice in the middle of the street talking about some, where is that bitch at? I want to fight her with you, woo woo. So I come back down the street and then that's when me and her fought again. And then she just kept talking a whole lot of mess. That's just like the brief of the story, honestly. And then as I'm outside the McDonald's as well.
I like the qualifier. That's just a brief of the story, honestly. Like, usually people that, lie, they put that qualifier in, because they know what they're saying is not truthful. So they'll put like, let me be honest with you. Well, what the hell were you with me before? Or she knows what she's saying is wrong. Let me give you the brief of it honestly. She's putting the qualifier in it because herself, she doesn't believe what she's even saying. And I like how when they start to make up their stories, they kind of like yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Your whole story is totally made up. And once I see that qualifier, it's like, why do you feel the need to say honestly? It's because yourself. You're not being honest. And, that's usually just kind of like trying to do something to convince somebody that what you're saying is honest when you yourself know that you're not being honest right here at all. At all.
And then as I'm outside the McDonald's as well, she picks up one of my homie's phone. She picks it up and she throws his phone and broke his screen. So it was just like basically she was being disrespectful and rude, which is why we fought. You know, as a fan, I'm not expecting you to be rude or nothing like that. I'm thinking you're gonna, you know, you're just gonna, oh, like, thank you for supporting me, this and that. But she had a different attitude towards me, you know. With Ice Spice, I have no like longer beef with her. Like, I never had beef with her, nothing. But she lost the fan. I can't listen to her the same anymore. Like,
my God.
it's just now I know that you're like disrespectful and all of that. I just can't support her.
Here's the disgusting thing of all that. Not only do you assault the young lady in the McDonald's, but then you try to attack her career. You try to destroy something that she's working hard on. That's just disrespectful on so many levels. So I got my breakdown, did some research. I'm going to give you what I got so far. I think I am going to follow up on this to see what's the end result here, see what they do to the girl, the guy, the group. So the incident unfolded. So the setting is Hollywood McDonald, April 15th, 2026. So it just happened. What's today, April 18th? The incident unfolded during the early morning hours of Wednesday, April 15, 2026, at a McDonald's restaurant in Hollywood, Los Angeles, California. So they're probably eating late night. Even though it says early morning, you know, some of us know what that means. I think early morning is maybe past midnight. California. Okay, so Ice Spice was there. Let me see if I got the exact time. Because you know, we all go to McDonald's late at night. We've all done that, or at least I have. I just want to see if there's an exact time. They don't give an exact clock, but Public Point does not give an exact clock time. Okay, that's what it is. I don't have it. I'm sure maybe it's there. If you guys know, let me know. Add to the dialogue. I like to know whatever facts, anything that's specific. All right, so early morning hours of Wednesday, April 15, 2026, at a McDonald's restaurant in Hollywood, Los Angeles, California. Ice Spice was there with a single female friend, seated together in a booth and chatting over a late-night meal. Critically, surveillance footage later confirmed that she had no personal security with her at all, a detail that her legal team would later frame as a contributing factor to what transpired. The McDonald's location in question is in a high-traffic area of Hollywood. There is no indication in any reporting that Ice Spice had drawn attention to herself prior to the confrontation, or that anyone else in the restaurant recognized her before the woman identified as Vayah arrived on the scene. And I think that big thing is someone telling her no as she's coming. There's a plan there. It's not going to the bathroom. No one's telling you not to go to the bathroom. But it's hard because you'd have to prove what was they saying no to. But obviously, you know, in context and what happened, you can clearly see that no was to start a confrontation. That's my opinion, because you'd have to look at what happened after and say, well, it looks like we know what they were telling her no to. Well, how do you know? Because of what just happened. Ice Spice did not instigate anything at all. She just basically told the girl, go do your stuff over there then. I'm trying to eat here. So she can't put nothing on the on Ice Spice at all. So according to surveillance footage obtained and published by TMZ, a woman who later identified herself to media as Vayah and a group of friends had stopped at the McDonald's initially to use the restroom. That's when Vayah said she spotted Ice Spice eating at a booth and decided to approach her. In the extended footage, before she even reaches the booth, a man with her is seen speaking to her and appearing to motion no or hold her back. That's at the very beginning of the footage, because there's a lot of people that are only showing this interaction. Guys, come on, man. Let's show context here. I don't know if I caught appearing, but you definitely hear no, as if trying to discourage her from running down there. She ignores him and goes anyway. So in Vayah's own telling to TMZ, she walked over with friendly intentions to introduce herself, offer a compliment, and show love to the rapper. But what the surveillance footage appears to show paints a different initial picture. The woman jogging or walking quickly over to the booth, blocking the exit with her body. So that traps Ice Spice and the friend to some level, but she definitely traps Ice Spice. Ice Spice, there's nowhere she can go, and that's very important. People should make note of that. Ice Spice could not avoid any confrontation because she was trapped in that booth. Let's see. And then appearing to gesture towards Ice Spice's female companion to move over and make room for her to sit down. I think she went over, talked to the friend to kind of get a look to see if that's Ice Spice. And that's why she kind of, after she says shake ass, and she looks, are you? But then she never gets to finish it because she's basically saying, go shake ass somewhere else. And there's nothing wrong. I mean, I'm eating. Why do I want you to come to my table telling me you want to shake ass? Come on, man. Go do that somewhere else. I'm trying to eat here. Neither Ice Spice nor her friend appeared welcoming to the intrusion. The footage shows Ice Spice visibly uncomfortable as Vayah got increasingly close into their personal space. So there's nothing that says that they wanted her there. According to multiple outlets citing the video, Vayah also asked at one point whether they were ready to shake ass, a line that lands very specifically because Ice Spice is publicly known. For she got the twerking videos, heavy visuals and lyrics like still shaking ass in the deli. So it comes off less like a neutral dance comment and more like a jab using her own image against her. I saw it that way. That's speculation on my end, but I think the girl knew who this was or had to guess who she was. So shake ass was maybe to try to get something from Ice Spice or them to pick up, oh, you know who I am. So I think that was very specific. And I don't think that's like, shake at means let's go outside and fight. I think it was something that she was hoping to get a reaction from. The verbal exchange that preceded the slap is where the two sides diverged most sharply. Okay, so from the video, Ice Spice appeared uneasy and dismissive from the start. When Vayah repeatedly pressed her, asking, where you from? Ice responded with a now widely shared quip, I'm from McDonald's, pointing towards the door to signal Vayah should leave. Vayah did not leave. And by the way, if you're eating and someone came up to you and said, hey, you want to shake ass? What are you going to tell them? I'm eating here. Just go. Whatever you got going on, just go. Come on. She wasn't aggressive. She's just respecting her, wants respect for her personal space. Nothing wrong with that. 100%. She should be allowed to do that. At that point, the girl should have took the hint and just left. You're now invading my personal space, especially when she leans over later on into the booth and kind of, makes Ice Spice go back a little bit, totally blocking Ice Spice from being able to retreat, leave, and now you're totally in her space. And to be honest with you, if Ice Spice was to hit her first, which she didn't, but if she was, perfectly justifiable. I took you as aggressive. I don't know you, and now you blocked me from leaving. I'm not going to climb over tables. I'm going to go right through you. In some neighborhoods in street context, especially in cities like Los Angeles, remember the girl said, where are you from? Where you're from is not always a casual get to know you question. I think Ice Spice knows that. I think that the young lady's very street smart. It comes across in her music. So she knows when someone says where you're from, that could be a test of your heart to your hood or what you represent. And maybe that I took that in context as that's what it is. That's what she did. She was trying to G-check her at one point. So where you're from is not always a casual get-to-know-you question. Gang experts and local reporting have described it as a deadly greeting that can be used to check what neighborhood or set you claim and decide if you're a rival with no truly safe answer if the person asking is looking for a problem. That doesn't prove this specific exchange was gang-related, but it does show why the question can feel aggressive, probing, or like a challenge instead of friendly small talk, especially when it's coming from a stranger who's already in your space. I think they should push that. I think they should. I think they should give it a shot, because that also shows premeditation. You were checking her. Why were you asking where you're from? I mean, is it hard to prove? Maybe, but, there's context that says that is something. And if you can prove that they're gang related, the context says, hey, why? It could be that 100% because she's gang related. And that's something that they're known to do. From Vayah's account to TMZ, she says she took offense at Ice Spice's dismissiveness. Immediately, Ice Spice was being rude. She was like, why are you over here? You can leave. Bye. And Vayah told TMZ, that's what Vayah told TMZ. And Vayah claims she then told Ice Spice she didn't have to be rude and explain that being in LA, her city, meant Ice shouldn't be out here disrespecting people. And by the way, none of this shit even happened. She says she asked Ice Spice where she was from, and Ice Spice replied, I'm from New York, prompting Vayah to essentially respond that being from New York was no excuse to be rude in Los Angeles. And the breaking point, according to Vayah's own admission on video, was then she calls me a bitch. So after she calls me a bitch, I hit her. Ice Spice Camp has not publicly confirmed or denied that specific word was used, but they described the entire episode, regardless of any exchange, as an unprovoked attack. It was never said. You clearly seen in the video. And I think the girl knew that there was a video, so she's just trying to justify why she hit her first, saying it was a reaction to being called bitch, even though you can clearly see in the video she's the aggressor just by body language alone. The audio is the bonus. She didn't know the audio was there, which makes the whole story bullshit. But if you didn't have the audio and all you had was the video, hey, you can clearly see who's the aggressor in the video, regardless of what you would have claimed she would have said or not. You are in her space. You are in her space, and you can clearly see Ice Spice not pushing towards her, but trying to make some safe space for herself. So even if there was no audio and it was just purely video, the video would go on the side of Ice Spice anyway. It's important for the viewer to understand a key detail that Vayah herself admitted, regardless of what Ice Spice said verbally. Vayah was the one who initiated physical contact first, and that was by her own account and on video. So that's something that you have it in video, but you get the admission to. Regardless of what she said was said, you can clearly see that the well, here, you know what? Let's just go back to the video first. I just want to show you what I mean. It's like just to I want to pause it somewhere. Watch this. Let me share. I'll show you what I mean. So let's say you didn't have the audio, and I'm gonna mute the audio. Just for the beginning. Just go by the body language. So mute the audio. Watch this. She's just eating. Nothing. They're just chatting. This one comes running in. That's a sign. Puts physical contact on the friend, by the way. You know, uninvited. Look. Look at that. All into her space. Maybe not physical contact, but all in her space. Now watch. She's just sitting there. Doesn't pose a threat. This one blocks her now. She's blocking her. Hey, now look at this, guys. She's in her space. Who's the aggressor here? I don't need video. I don't need audio here. Look at her. She's leaned over in her space, and she's kind of like backed away a little bit. Clearly, look at that. This is clearly you got her as the instigator. Clearly, that's without audio. Look at that girl took her fighting stance too. Isis Stone. Clearly, she got into the space of the girl, and then she got into her space. So you don't even need the audio. It's enough to hold weight. All right. So after the verbal back and forth, Vayah leaned in close to Ice Spice and slapped her across the face. That single blow ignited chaos inside the McDonald's. So Ice Spice immediately leapt up from the booth and went after Vayah, at one point dramatically jumping across booths and tables in pursuit. According to billboards reporting on the footage, Ice Spice was also heard yelling at her assailant while climbing over the restaurant furniture. Bystanders and what appears to be Vayah's own companions tried to separate the two women, with at least one person physically dragging Vayah toward the restaurant exit. During the scuffle, Ice Spice's friend is also shoved and jostled in the cramped booth area. Well, more towards, you guys saw that, right? When she got pushed, it's more towards by the exit. At one point appearing to be pushed back into the table, and that's from the girl Vayah. And that was she hit the booth, the table of the booth. I thought she hit that pretty hard. So that gives her friend a good potential claim for something criminal or civil. She was just a bystander who was physically impacted by the assault. Meanwhile, restaurant staff appear to have been present but limited in their initial intervention, which would later become a focal point of Spice's attorney's statement about the establishment's inadequate security. It's a good point, especially if you open that late at night. As Vayah was being removed from the restaurant, she and Ice Spice weren't done. At the doorway, a man who appeared to be with Vayah's group stepped in, part de-escalation, part confrontation, this guy. He reportedly told Ice Spice that Vayah was drunk and urged her to relax or let it go. But in the same breath, videos and eyewitnesses' descriptions say he raises his voice, curses, and at points sounds ready to fight himself against her. Ice Spice was not interested in simply moving on, and a heated verbal exchange continued at the door between her, the man, and Vayah. At some point during this doorway and outside exchange, Ice Spice picked up a phone from the ground, described in multiple reports as belonging to someone accompanying Vayah's group, likely the man with her. What happened next, depending on which report you read, Ice Spice either smashed her phone or threw it, resulting in a cracked screen. Vayah later specifically alleged that Ice Spice broke her friend's phone screen during the altercation. The man is not... But I want to mention something, guys. It's frustrating. She just got smacked. I mean, she did put her own safety at risk by going towards the group, because you never know what you're going towards. But you know, when it talks about emotion, and when I say it's justifiable in regards to her emotion. She just got smacked or hit across the face. So it makes sense why you're very upset. I mean, my advice here is you don't want that emotion to blind you and put you in more danger, but that's not to minimize or negate the fact that I think what she did makes her wrong. She's reacting to what someone did to her. So I don't think she's wrong in regards to being angry and trying to chase after the individual. I just don't think it was the smartest of moves, but understandably so why she did it. And then I guess the other frustration would be the phone. You know, I'm pissed off. I got to destroy something in his phone. So, hey, you know, the guy's lucky that's all she did was destroy his phone. Which that would hold no weight in court anyway. Even if they try to get something back for the phone, that would hold no weight, I don't think, because they excited her emotionally, and that's the end result of what you've done. That's not her fault. She's minding her own business, eating food, and you went in there and excited her up. So again, I just want to make sure it's clear. I'm not in any way saying that her responding in the way she did and going after the group or going after the girl to continue to fight her makes her wrong in any way in regards to her being the aggressor. It's just, I don't think it was the safest move, but I don't know how I would react if I got hit in the face either. I don't know. I would like to say I would just sit there and not put anybody else in danger, but that's tough, man. So, I mean, I do give her, I guess on that side of the coin, I got to give her credit for holding herself up, man. I mean, that's a strong woman. She wasn't taking that. But maybe the response wasn't the smartest, but either way, she's not wrong in any way. She's not wrong in any way. It was an emotionally fueled moment started by the other individual. So I was watching this video. My safety tip would just be, it's even hard for me to say that. I'm not, take the hit. That's hard to say, but be careful, because if you go into that group, you don't know what you're walking into. You don't know what you're walking into. So that's where I think she may have put herself in a bit of danger, but she's angry. She's frustrated. That's where, I mean, look, it'd be hard to, I'm thinking if that even happened to me, what I would do. There's just so much being attacked, including your pride. So, but again, her actions make total sense in regards to why she wanted to go after her. Let's see, where was I at? So I just want to mention something. The man in this who de-escalates at first, he's not a passive bystander here, right? So clips show him physically in the mix, pulling Vayah, getting close to the Ice Spice and making heated, arguably threatening statements in the doorway and outside, conduct that could expose him to battery, especially if he pushed her or grabbed Ice. It's hard to see. And criminal threats or harassment. He does have criminal threats there, depending on exactly what was said and how prosecutors viewed the tape. Because he said something like, I'll hit you or something. It's there. And again, if you only have that part and not what happened in McDonald's, this guy comes out as a hero. I'm just protecting my girl. Protecting her. She was coming after my girl. Stop. Your girl was the problem, and then you became the problem. Because he literally threatens her. Let me just show you guys again in case you missed it. I try not to stop the video, but I kind of did. Let me show you the threat that was caught on the body-worn camera. The body-worn camera on the cell phone. Yeah, I don't work in law enforcement. Hold on a second. He clearly makes a threat to her.
You end that. All right. What the happened? Why is that?
Oh no, she's drunk, but just relax.
Why would I relax if she
I'm
touched
saying
me?
she's drunk.
Where is she?
And that kind of tells you, why would I relax if she touched me? Shows you it's reactionary, not driven by her.
What the f***? Your hands is ice spice. We're going viral.
Look at that. You see, something happened. Look at his arm. It's hard to make out, man, but look at his arm. Or maybe he's just fixing his shirt or something. But watch. Listen.
You gonna spank the bitch?
Wait, calm down.
Let me spank her.
I'll beat your fucking ass on my mama. That's what he said.
On your mama. Let me fight her. Let me fight a bitch. Why would you want to fight me? Are you a bitch? You want to fight a bitch? Why would you fight me, bitch?
Yeah, so you can clearly see she's reacting to him making the threat to her. That's it. I'm telling you, Ice Spice is a tough girl here. Tough woman. Ooh, tough woman. One of the most striking details of the entire incident is that it did not end at the McDonald's. Video from outside the restaurant and subsequently from the street itself shows the confrontation continuing. After being escorted out of the restaurant, Vayah admitted that she went back towards Ice Spice a second time. Her stated reason was she could hear Ice Spice still talking a whole lot of mess from outside, which she says drew her back in. In footage from across the street, Vayah can be seen throwing another punch at Ice Spice, sparking a second physical fight. And we saw that, guys. That's in the end of the street where the video is a little bit further, but they're going at it a little bit. After Billboard's reporting offers one of the more specific accounts of what happened in the street. The footage shows Ice Spice on the ground at one point with her friend claiming out loud on videos. He pushed her. So it was the guy pushed her. You know what? Man, don't hate me, guys. I just want to just see that. Let me see. Let's see if that is the case. Let's see. She does fall, and I think it is the guy that pushes her. They're talking about the altercation. Here. Right here. No, hold on. So he's coming at her, to be honest with you, and she's kind of walking away. But he's definitely coming at her. But I want to see, but she does fall to the ground. Yeah, yeah, this guy's a. They're fighting. That's the girl fighting with her. They're going at it. And then they fell.
Hey, don't jump her. Hey, don't push him though. Don't push him though.
So the push happened before the Vayah, before they got into the fight. So he pushed her beforehand. Let me just take a look. He must have pushed her here. It's hard to see. No. You could see something. You could see it. I think enough. And then that gives her the chance to go in. Yeah, it's an assault.
Hey, don't jump her.
And this one was smart because she's videoing it now, knowing that can't justify jumping her. That's what they were getting ready to do because that's what they do.
Hey,
That's
don't
what
push
they
him
do.
though. Don't push him though. Don't push him because he can't hit you the back. Don't push him. Calm down.
Yeah.
All right, but calm down.
Who the fuck is the referee on camera coaching this fight? I think she should also be looked at too. Was she Dana White? All right, let's see. What else do I got? Billboard's report he pushed her, suggesting that the male companion of Vayah was also physically involved by the stage of this altercation. Ice Spice herself in the chaotic scene outside is described as demanding to fight Vayah directly, telling the man attempting to intervene words to the effect of "let me fight her." And the second brawl was eventually broken up with bystanders separating the parties. And again, guys, her frustration, I get it. I'm reacting to her hitting me. Come on. Let's just deal with it. You just hit me in the face. I can't allow that to happen. So now you got the attorney. I got Bradford Cohen's statement, and I love this guy. I love the stuff he's putting into it, and let them. I throw everything at the wall. Prove it, or disprove it. Ice Spice's attorney, Bradford Cohen, moved quickly after the incident went public, and in statements issued to TMZ, Billboard, and other outlets, Cohen was unequivocal and aggressive in framing what happened. Remember, guys, this would have been an attack on her image as well. So he went for the video. He went for whatever he could to get on that immediately. He didn't want to sit there and let response come its way and attack Ice. He got in there and he took control of that narrative. And that's key in cases like this. Who controls the narrative? And sometimes some lawyers are like, well, you should be quiet. No. Control that narrative because it's going to spin. You're 100% in the correct. Create the narrative before it spins into everything else, only because people may be only showing the second video, because that was the video that would have been posted up immediately. So all of a sudden you got that initial impression. So it's like, hey, I need that McDonald's video ASAP right now. And I'm going to put it out there because they're going to try to go with this narrative. And I want to go ahead and put what the context is, because we have that video. And then you create your own narrative before that initial impression sets in. So he published statements. The unprovoked attack on my client has been reported to the LAPD and we will be pursuing any and all avenues to hold the perpetrators responsible for their actions, including criminally and civilly. We're also exploring holding the location responsible for the lack of appropriate security. You want to be open up that late at night? Protect your customers, protect your staff. But Cohen went further in his statement to Billboard. This I like. Making an accusation that adds an entirely new layer to the story. He alleged that those involved turned their cameras on after the initial attack, not before. Okay, so let me read that again. I apologize. He alleged that those involved turned their cameras on after the initial attack, not before, suggesting that this was not simply a random fan encounter gone wrong, but a deliberate attempt to set Ice Spice up for viral content. His words included a warning that the only thing going viral for them would be their mug shots. I like that. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like the lawyer here. Hold on. Let's see. Sorry, guys. So this is a significant legal and factual claim. It implies the group had no intention of simply connecting with the celebrity. They came in, made contact, and then pulled out phones once chaos broke out to capture a viral moment. And plus, I'm telling you that no matters at the very beginning. Ice Spice team already had the internal McDonald's surveillance footage, giving them a cleaner, unedited account of what actually initiated the confrontation. I love the fact that they released it because that took control of the immediate narrative. And the legal strategy is multi-pronged. Criminal action against Vayah and potentially her companions, including the male who gets physical and makes threats, civil suits against those individuals, and possible lawsuit against the McDonald's location itself for failing to provide adequate security to a customer who is clearly recognizable as a public figure. So Vayah, let's go back and listen to Vayah's story again real quick. So Vayah, identified only by that first name across all outlets, spoke to TMZ and other platforms in the immediate aftermath. Her account is a direct counter narrative to Ice Spice camp, but also counter narrative to what's in the video, in the video in general, both the video inside the McDonald's and the phone cam. So according to Vayah, she and her friends were at McDonald's to use the restroom and spotted Ice Spice eating. Wrong. She approached with genuinely friendly intentions to introduce herself and give a compliment as a fan. Wrong. You got in their space, their personal space. Immediately, her friend probably felt threatened by how close the girl got to her. Ice Spice's reaction was immediately cold and dismissive. Not true. Immediately, she said Ice Spice was being rude. She was like, why are you over here? You can leave by. And not true. She basically said, hey, we're eating pretty much, you know. You go on your way. Shake your ass over there. Vayah claims she pushed back on that, telling Ice she didn't have to be rude, and asked where she was from to continue the conversation. And when Ice said, I'm from New York, that none of this even occurred. Vayah says she responded, you're in LA, you're in my city now. You can't be out here disrespecting people. If you wanted us to leave, you could have just said politely, I'm not in the mood. Yeah, okay, that was all said. All right. I gotta play the beginning again. Don't hate me, guys. This is my obsessive compulsion. This is what I do when I in the background trying to create my videos. I look at something like 10 million times. Let me just double check. I learn as we go too, guys, as you see in my videos that I do. Try to get as much as I can, but I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So let me just, that's definitely, she never says any of that. So what are we looking at here? We're looking to see if she says, Right here. She never even. I don't recall her ever saying she's from New York, because I think Ice Spice. What's going on? Ice Spice is smart enough to know that question could be a very dangerous in how you answer it. So she doesn't answer it. She stays focused on where the girl's from. It's actually a very smart move. Where are you from? Where are you from? Oh, you're from there? That's what I recall. She never once said she's from New York. I don't know. Let's just double check. Hold on. Let's just double check. Oh, what the hell? Why did it skip like that?
Ready for what? Shake ass. You shake ass? That's what you do, you shake ass? So go shake ass. So you from Cali? So go shake ass. So you from Cali? Are you from Cali? Are you from Cali? Where are you from? Are you from Cali? No, I'm from Chirac. Where are you from? Oh, you're from Chirac. Yeah, stay home. So where you from? So where you from? I'm from McDonald's. I'm from Wendy.
She kept it as neutral as she can. Where are you from? Where are you from? I'm from McDonald's. She's keeping it neutral. She's not answering because she doesn't know where that girl's from. So it's very smart. Tell me where you're from first. And that kind of, but she knew that question, where that could possibly lead. So I think that part, the girl went from trying to see if she's a celebrity to try to make it gang related. 100%. I think that went into that. I think that should be, I think they should see if these individuals represent. Let's see. The tipping point. She claims Ice Spice called her a bitch. Didn't happen. After which she slapped her. That happened. So after she calls me a bitch, I hit her. No, she just said that because she knew the video saw that. So she's trying to make it look like the other girl provoked her. That Ice Spice provoked her. She admits going back outside toward Ice after being escorted out because she could still hear her talking. She alleges Ice Spice smashed her friend's phone screen during the outside altercation. Irrelevant. She concluded by saying, as a fan, I'm not expecting you to be rude. She had a different attitude towards me. She lost a fan. I just can't listen to her anymore. All bullshit. It is worth noting that Vayah, by describing herself as a former fan, explicitly frames this as a fan entitlement situation. I think it went from fan possibly to, fan entitlement situation. The idea that a celebrity owes fans warmth and access simply because they consume her music. So it's worth noting that Vayah, by describing herself as a former fan, explicitly frames this as a fan entitlement situation. The idea that a celebrity owes fans warmth and access. Access is key. Simply because they consume her music. Legal commentators point out that regardless of Ice Spice's tone, a verbal slight from a celebrity does not legally justify physical assault. So by late Friday night, April 17th, Ice Spice had broken her own silence, and she did it with humor rather than anger. She reposted the viral TMZ video on X, formerly Twitter, with a single caption that instantly became one of the most shared lines of the weekend. This wouldn't happen at Wendy's. Because again, she's, I guess, got a sponsorship with them. That's actually funny. That comes from Rolling Stones, by the way. The dig was a direct reference to her ongoing brand partnership with Wendy's and a subtle reminder that she was attacked while dining at a direct competitor. Ice Spice's social media bios on both X and Instagram already describe her as Wendy's princess, making the callback feel organic rather than calculated. The post was accompanied by a snippet of what appeared to be an unreleased song, teasing that she was channeling the chaos into new music. The response was widely praised as a masterclass in controlling the narrative, turning a violent, embarrassing moment into a moment of brand humor and fan engagement virtually overnight. Again, they're controlling the narrative. Well, Cleotrapa enters the chat. So one of the most surprising sidebars to the incident was the reaction of Cleotrapa, a rapper and former close associate of Ice Spice, whose friendship with Ice publicly fractured during the Y2K tour era. When the McDonald's footage began trending, social media users quickly pulled Cleotrapa into the conversation. After a fan on X wrote, Cleotrapa would have toured the spot with her. See, be nice to your friends. Cleotrapa replied on X with LMFA, hello. So laughing my fucking ass on. Her response was short but loaded, widely interpreted as a pointed acknowledgement that if they were still friends, she would have had Ice Spice's back in the altercation. The exchange added another layer of public commentary to an already viral situation, reigniting conversations about their fallout. That's irrelevant. So as of April 18, 2026, law enforcement pictures remain in early stages. The key confirmed facts is Ice Spice's attorney, Bradford Cohen, has confirmed that A report has been filed with the Los Angeles Police Department. Multiple outlets note that Ice Spice plans to press charges and that legal action is being actively prepared. The LAPD has not issued an official public statement, press release, or confirmed case details as of the most recent reporting, and no formal arrests or specific charges have been publicly announced as of April 18, 2026. Based on the conduct visible on video and publicly admitted, these are charges I think that it could be there. Misdemeanor battery, California Penal Code 242 against Vayah for willfully and unlawfully using force by slapping Ice Spice and then swinging again outside. Potential battery or related count against the male companion if investigators conclude he pushed Ice Spice or otherwise used unlawful force during the doorway or street phases. And possible lesser public order counts like disturbing the peace or fighting in public attached to the broader brawl in and around the restaurant. I would like to see assault, because fighting means you had two willing participants, even though at that point I get it. But you also got slapped in the face and you have to take emotion into account. You have to take emotion into account. But either way, that I thought that maybe the angle, because of the fact that she did pursue it, it could turn out to be a fighting charge, but not on her somehow. But I think they should go after the male too, because she wasn't going after the male at any time, and he pushed her. He threatened her. I think they should really look into that a little bit more. Ice Spice can bring civil battery and emotional distress claims against both Vayah and the male companion, plus seek punitive damages given the intentional nature of the attack. Ice Spice's friend, who was shoved and physically impacted during the chaos, could also potentially bring her own civil claim as an injured bystander caught in an unprovoked assault, provided she can show some physical emotional damages. Maybe she could also push for something criminal with that, or they could. I would look at that. And on the other side, Ice Spice's own exposure is limited but not zero. Her team is clearly positioning her as the victim, which she is, and there's no indication LAPD is treating her as a suspect. And nevertheless, damaging another person's phone during the confrontation could technically form the basis of a vandalism property damage allegation. But even if that's more likely to be handled civilly or folded into larger resolution at the heat of the moment, I don't think that would go anywhere because they provoked it. Cohen has explicitly stated they will pursue criminal charges against Vayah and potentially others who were physically involved, and civil action against both the individuals and possibly the McDonald's location. One of the more legally novel mentions of the case is Ice Spice's team floating a potential claim against McDonald's itself. Under California premise liability law, businesses have a duty of care to their patrons. Whether that duty extends to failing to protect a celebrity from a fan encounter gone violent is a nuanced question, but Cohen framing of it as inadequate security is a serious opening legal position, because either way, celebrity or not, she wasn't protected. The counter argument that McDonald might raise is they are a fast food restaurant, not a venue that provides personal security or celebrity security service. A customer walking in without security of her own is not the restaurant's responsibility to protect beyond standard premises safety measures. However, if the footage shows staff standing by during a clearly escalating confrontation without intervening in a meaningful way, that could strengthen Ice Spice's argument that the location failed to act reasonably once danger was obvious. Cases where patrons have recovered significant settlements after being assaulted by staff or other customers show that McDonald's and its security can be held liable when they mishandle violent situation premises. The broader cultural conversation this has sparked is about the safety of celebrities in casual public spaces. Ice Spice was without security at a late-night fast food stop, something that many celebrities do, particularly at the age and profile level. And that absence created a vulnerability that a bad actor could exploit. But she never made the world know at that McDonald's that this was who she was. She never opened up the door. That's why I think it's awesome. She's like, she may not want to answer that because she probably wouldn't want, she's not with security. So she'd be very careful of who she said, who she was to, because that could have opened up a door to a flood of people that she wasn't prepared to engage with professionally. And also she covered herself. So there's nothing in there saying that she wanted the world to know who she was. She did everything to cover herself and enjoy some meal with her friends. And she also sat herself, I think, positionally this way. So she wouldn't be the first person people would see coming in. I think that could have also been strategic in the way she situated herself. So regardless, can't eat at a McDonald's, because you can't, protect the patron. Because that's the key. At the end of the day, she's still a patron. You want to be open up that late at night, McDonald's should pay for some security. I'm sorry. If you want to open up that late at night in an area probably I don't know too much about area, but in LA you should be paying for some security. So beyond the legal dimension, the incident has ignited a fierce debate online. The crux of it does being rude to a fan, even if it's true, justify physical assault? And we know that she wasn't rude to the fan, but it's on some of the social media platforms, but she wasn't rude to a fan. So many commentators have drawn a firm line. No, Vayah's own admission that she slapped Ice after being called a name is a confession of assault, regardless of what preceded it verbally, which we know was nothing provoked from Ice. Others have been more ambivalent, suggesting that celebrities have a responsibility to interact with fans who approach them respectfully, and that dismissing someone who was complimenting you is unkind. Vayah's own framing, she lost a fan, I can't support her anymore, taps into a specific cultural tension around fan entitlement, the belief that consuming someone's art creates an interpersonal obligation. There can be many reasons why they may not want to admit who they are, because it open up a floodgate. So I don't have to tell you who I am, especially now that I'm not even protected right now. So I'm eating, and let's say I'm a celebrity and someone comes up, I have to tell them who I am. That could put me at risk. Why would I do that? And I'm sitting out of everybody's way. I don't want to be seen. So the counterpoint is obvious. Eating a meal at 2 a.m. at a fast food restaurant is not a fan meet and greet. Being recognized in public at any hour does not obligate any person, celebrity or not, to welcome uninvited strangers into their personal space, and under no standard or of reasonable behavior does verbal dismissiveness justify hitting someone, even though that wasn't the case. So just a little breakdown. Incident occurred at Hollywood McDonald's on April 15, 2026. It was confirmed. That's through surveillance footage. Ice Spice was with a friend, no security present. That's confirmed. Video and reporting. Man appears to tell Vayah no before she runs down. That's observed. That's in the footage at the beginning. Vayah approached their booth uninvited. That's confirmed. That shows in the video. Vayah slapped Ice Spice first. That's confirmed. Video of Vayah's own admission. Ice Spice's friend is shoved into the booth or into one of the tables. That's observed. Visible in Inside Chaos, supports bystander injury theory. Ice Spice jumped across tables in pursuit. That's confirmed in the video. Male companion gets physical and makes threats. That's observed. Seen pulling, crowding, and yelling aggressively in doorway and outside, and then pushes her later on. Second, a fight occurred in the street. That's confirmed. That's through additional video footage from the phone. Ice Spice smashed, damaged someone's phone. That's reported, alleged on video, confirmed by. I think it's I'm not going to focus too much on that, but I think it's there. But just irrelevant to me. Ice Spice called Vayah a bitch first. Vayah claims yes. Ice Camp silent on this. I never heard her say that. I mean, later on she goes, no, it's out there later on, but not in when it matters. And if she does say it later on, it's in reaction to what just happened to her. She got smacked or punched in the face. Ice was pushed to the ground by a male. That's seen. I think that's clear. And that's also said by the friend. But it's tough to see. It's a tough angle, but I think you could see it. Or she's pushed into onto the side, not onto the ground. When she falls onto the ground, that's when she's battling with the girl. Vayah's group filmed themselves to go viral. That's alleged. I think that's a great allegation, though. But that's hard to prove. But it makes sense to me, especially because she creates a different story. Partner that story with the video. You got a bit of a motive there, right? Your little bullshit story connected to your phone creates a narrative that you're looking to push to go viral. LAPD report has been filed. That's been confirmed. Cohen's public statement. Formal charges filed. Not yet confirmed. I don't have anything on that yet. And McDonald's will be sued. That's threatened, but we don't know yet. Sorry, I got to look at one more thing. Don't hate me. Did they, out of curiosity, because that viral idea is a great idea. I wonder if he just thought of that, or if he hears someone when they go onto when they utilize the phones, if he hears someone saying, let this go viral. Because I'm thinking, did he just think of that idea of the lawyer, or did someone say that and that's what provoked the idea? Because that matters too, because then you got more motive there outside of her lie to create her narrative, because I would connect that as well. But I wonder if someone does mention viral when they go out on the phone. Let me just see. It'll be at the very, if it happened, it'll be at the very beginning. Let me see. Hold on one second. That's his phone, I think.
That really was Ice Spice. That's really Ice Spice.
Alright. What the happened? Why is that touching me?
She's drunk, but just relax.
Why would I relax if she touched me?
She's
Where is she? Where is
I don't know. Maybe not there, but and if someone wants to push around and say, well, you're not, now she's searching for her when it's clearly, it's not really de-escalated emotionally. She got smacked. So she's purely emotional. She's purely reactionary. And that could prolong. You know, she just got smacked. So I know like right now people are like, oh, it's de-escalated. She's walking away. She got smacked. You know, she got smacked. You don't smack another grown woman. So I know there'll be some people that may want to argue that at that point she became the one to provoke, but she's emotional right now, which is totally justifiable. And I think anybody can clearly see that. You don't smack a grown woman and expect that to go unanswered. As of April 18, 2026, several material facts remain publicly unresolved. LAPD's case status, no official statement, case number, or classification has been publicly released. Vayah's full identity, she's only been identified by first name across all outlets. No last name, social media profile, or background information has been publicly confirmed. Injuries, no formal medical reports or injury statements have been published for Ice Spice, her friend, or any party. The extent of any physical harm is unknown beyond what's visible on video. Whether the phone damage constitutes a counterclaim, Vayah or the male companion could theoretically file a civil claim for the damaged phone, though Vayah's public admission is striking Ice first would significantly undermine such a position, even if she did it. Whether formal charges will be filed and how many counts. Criminal charges for misdemeanor, battery, and any related offenses require prosecutorial review. No decision on charging has been announced, but they're going to do something with that. McDonald's response, no statement from McDonald's corporate or the franchise owner has been published in any of the major reports reviewed. And whether Cohen's setup theory holds up, his claim that Vayah's group intentionally waited until after the assault to film, intended to go viral, is stated as a fact in a public statement, but has not been independently verified by media outlets. I would lean on what she said afterwards, the part of the conspiracy to connect the context to a viral video, because they know it's going to go viral. Why would you be videoing it? What would be your purpose of videoing it? Out of curiosity. And then just open that. You know, they'll come up with many different reasons, but you open that and then narrow it down. Then the creation of the narrative when they were reported by TMZ. You know, and I like the fact that actually TMZ actually aired her lies like that. But I'm wondering, because I don't trust TMZ, I'm wondering if they knew at the time it was lies. If that interview went out before the McDonald's video. I'm curious. Actually, I wonder. That's a good question. Just out of curiosity. I want to see, because I really don't trust TMZ. I'm very upset with them with the way they covered the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case. A couple of cases. That's one of them. All right. Let me see something. I just want to see. Sorry, guys. Because I'm not a big fan of TMZ, so I'm wondering if they released that interview to try to get the spin on a narrative, because that would only help her. At first, the dates line up like this. When the McDonald's video was released, TMZ McDonald's footage inside and outside is cited as being obtained and published on Thursday, April 16th. Articles and reposts the same day and next day explicitly describe it as video obtained by TMZ and were published April 16th with social reposts. The surveillance and phone video via TMZ hit the internet on April 16th. There's Vayah's interview. TMZ sits down, street-style interview with the woman who hit Ice Spice, where she says Ice was Ruba, and that was done the day after. Okay. And Reddit and social posts discussing TMZ's interviewed the girl who attacked Ice Spice, also timestamped at April 17th, so it's the day after. And then Ice hasn't done a long-form sit-down yet, but her first public response is treated as her statement. This wouldn't happen at Wendy's is a great response, because it's going to go legal. So it's going to go to legal side. So why give any more than needs to be out there? All right, guys, if you like the content, please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit the bell. Bell's going to notify you of every video I post. And guys, check out my other videos. I got a great case I'm trying to push out there with Michaela Settles. April 21st is coming. So if you're not familiar with that case, I would watch that, because they need support right now. As always, guys, stay safe.